Hear ye, everybody. We are live with the community. This is the February 2025 Power Platform Community Call, and we are so excited for you all to be here today because my name is David Warner with Quizdiv, and I'm your host, and with me is Shane Young. Shane, how you doing?
I am wonderful. Not nearly as jazzed as you, though, man. You must have hit the old coffee hard this morning. You ready to go?
I mean, I've been up since 4:30 local time. I've just been sitting here waiting, and I'm only going to stay till midnight, but then I have to go. So, yes, I am excited because this is a community call week and a community call day for Power Platform. So let's take a look at our agenda. We are going to talk about some community resources that are available to each and every one of you for the low price of $0. And then we've got more $0 samples available. We've got some news and events with April Dunham. We've got group picture time with Together Mode, everybody's favorite time. So get those fantastic faces ready. And then our three amazing presenters of the day. We're going to start out with Pratima on inventory management and Power Apps. And by the way, this is her first time presenting on the community call, so let's show her some appreciation and love. Then we've got Terho here. He's going to talk about Copilot Studio. Take your agents to the next level. We're going to power up. And then Mohammed's going to round it out, Power Platform offline capabilities, the art of working offline with Power Apps. So if you've ever been afraid of going to the beach and being like, hey, where am I going to get my internet at? You can work with Power Apps offline. So it's awesome. We're going to see more about it. But first, I mentioned those resources. They are absolutely awesome and available to each and every one of you. What are they? I'm so glad you asked. Microsoft Community Learning videos on our Community Learning YouTube channel is a great place to start. It's where places like this call gets recorded and posted. Other initiatives and projects in the community, the demos get posted there. Things like information about the SharePoint Hackathon, and April Dunham has shared one recently that's gone viral. It's amazing. So you got to check it out. Go subscribe today so you can be alerted to the latest and greatest when any new video drops. We've also got our LinkedIn page for groups and discussions so you can collaborate and communicate with all your favorite people in the community. We've got a number of open source initiatives and projects. And then I mentioned those sample galleries. There is so many of them, and they are all by amazing contributors like you. So team samples, SPFX samples, Power Platform samples, of course, list formatting. The list goes on and on. But you do not need to remember all these URLs that you're seeing on the screen right now. Only one, ak.ms/community/home, or we've got a brand new fancy domain that's top level, community.ms. That will take you directly to the community homepage where you can get access to all these amazing resources. And as you're watching today, you may think, hey, they're showing some really cool stuff, and I have some really cool stuff I want to share. Does it need to make time travel possible? Shane, does it need to be amazing and, earth-shattering to present on these community calls?
Yes. Oh, wait, no.
No,
right? Like, the whole thing that David and I are looking for as we try to find, the right people to do these is we want people that just have a passion. This is a great way if you've ever thought, man, I want to do public speaking. I want to try out that whole, being a YouTuber type of thing. Like, this is a great first step, is hop on here, share what you know, and get some practice. And don't be like, oh, everyone already knows that. No, everyone doesn't already know that. So please join us. Present. We love new presenters.
Absolutely, and that is a great point that we oftentimes take for granted, thinking that what we know as common knowledge, everybody knows, but they don't. They're all starting from somewhere. We all started from somewhere, so share that information. We absolutely love to see it. Don't hesitate. And if you want a buddy, just let us know. We'll buddy up with you. We'll find an MVP or a member of the team. We can present together, put the presentation together. Everything. It'll be amazing. All right. Now let's get into some samples and badges. We're going to kick it off with the one and only April Dunham, who's got a number of samples to tell us all about today. Dr. Dunham, paging Dr. Dunham. I just saw her. There we go.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I hear you. Yep.
Hey, temporary lip. All right, thank you, David. I'm excited to cover. We have a lot of sample snippets and prompts here this month. Thank you to Katarina for curating these for us. We have a dynamic tag gallery component for Power Apps from James. So it's a really cool component if you need to be able to have multi-select different options and you want a different look than maybe just a standard dropdown. For Power Automate on that side of things, with the samples, we have a notified team of unresponsive channel posts. So if you want to be able to get alerted if people aren't responding to your different channel posts and teams, that's a great flow for you to do that from Manish. Marcel has contributed from the Power Apps team a calendar component, a YAML snippet. And we have a few different prompts. So we have a productivity automation assistant from Ran. That is a really cool Copilot Studio scenario where if you want to brainstorm with Copilot Studio how to automate certain things, that topic prompt will help you do that. From the Power Automate side, we have Act as a Musician Partner for a Developer from Valeris. This one's pretty cool for my musician heart. It helps you actually write songs and chord progressions and AI Builder. And then from Power Apps, we have an Event and RSVP Manager application prompt that helps you build an application from submit. So tons of great samples. You can go over to aka.ms/Power Platform samples to check them all out or submit your own. And I hear if you want help figuring out how to navigate GitHub to share some of these samples, that there's some resources for you.
You know, it's amazing you say that, April. It's almost like we planned it because there is, everybody. We have got our samples contributor sessions scheduled for Sharing is Caring. And what is Sharing is Caring, you say? It is a program that we provide that is hands-on, which means that we will join a live Teams call together and learn how to accomplish certain things, one of which is navigating GitHub, that hub of gits, that GitHub hubs, that labyrinth of confusion. We will demystify it with you. And guess what? That call is a contribution. So it's going to count towards anything and everything you would like to start doing in the community. And we welcome it because it's safe space, which means that it is not recorded. You can ask any and all questions without the fear of, should I already know the answer to this question? Nobody else is asking it. Now I'm afraid to ask. Don't be afraid. We're all there to learn together. I guarantee you, if you're wondering something, someone else is. So it's a safe space to ask questions, to collaborate. We've got additional and more tactical and practical sessions coming up too, so you can see some of those responsive Power Apps, component libraries for Power Apps. April and I are working together on putting those on to the calendar, and some fun opportunities to learn more about how to use the technology that we love. So take a look at that samples contributor session coming up March 10th, aka.ms/sharing is caring. We'd love to see you there. And once you do contribute to the community, you're going to be recognized. Because our community recognition program is alive and well for 2025, we have got so many cool and fun badges like the Prompt Pro, Snippet Sorcerer. Those prompts that April were talking about, they are one of the easiest ways to contribute because we're all sort of becoming prompt engineers. We're learning how to do, as Shane calls it, our love language with Copilot and AI. So use it, share it, let others know. We've got a number of other cool events like the Powerful Devs, which is going on right now. We've got the SharePoint Hackathon, which is coming up. You'll see a little bit more about in a moment. Things like Repo Rescue and Modern Search. And guess what? We're going to come up with some other fun thematic tiered badge programs here as well. So things like, I don't know, does anybody like May the 4th? Any Star Wars fans out there kind of playing with an idea around that right now? So might be kind of fun to see some thematic badges like that for those kinds of events that we all get excited about. But it's not all about fun and games. These are real and accredited. They show that you are making a difference. So put them on your blog, put them on your resume, share them with your managers and your clients because it shows that you are making a difference in the community because you took action. So it sets you apart. And by the way, did I mention it's free? We cover the cost 100% for you. So absolutely get opted in. Just need to do that once, ak.ms/community/recognition. All right. There's some shows and events coming up. I think so. Yeah. So one of which Powerful Devs. April, you want to give us a quick update on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually had our kickoff on February 12th, the Powerful Devs Conference. We had a ton of great sessions by different Microsoft people and community members, so you can watch those on demand. But we're in the middle of the hackathon that follows the conference. So if you want to participate, you have a chance to win up to $550 in U.S. cash prizes. As a team, you just submit your hackathon project by the 28th. We're going to have some live streams sprinkled in throughout now and the closing session there, so you can learn more. We have one actually today, right after this call, if you want to learn about Power Automate for developers. So lots of great sessions, and you have the chance to really hack with some other friends and be able to learn more about the Power Platform and see what you can build and get a chance to win some prizes. So I hope you all can take part. Go to aka.ms/powerful devs to register and find out more.
That is awesome. $500. That sounds awesome. All right. What else? Well, we've got the SharePoint and Viva Connection Global Hackathon coming up. So absolutely check that out as well, which again has a badge and there's a number of opportunities. And I think Vesa can chime in here more if you'd like, but you don't need to be a developer in any case, right? There's lots of opportunities to build, innovate, and inspire here, even with ideas around designs and stuff like that. So don't feel like it's only for those that are writing code or writing solutions or anything like that. There's a wide spectrum of contribution opportunities in this hackathon. So definitely check that out as well. We've also got our Microsoft 365 Community Conference coming up in May in Las Vegas. So we're excited about that. That has a nice broad spectrum of topics, including Power Platform. We've got our European Collaboration Summit coming up in May, end of May as well in Dusseldorf. And this is like a hat trick because you got the Collaboration Summit, the AI and Cloud Summit, and the BizApp Summit. So much amazing stuff will be going on there. I know that April will be there, Vesta will be there, I'll be there, Hugo will be there, a number of your friends will be there. So check it out if you can. We've got TechCon coming up in Seattle, Atlanta, and Dallas. We've also got the Power Platform Conference coming up in October in Vegas as well. That was amazing last year. And we've also got our ESPC Dublin in 2025. And that's not all. There are so many other amazing opportunities to collaborate, even in your local area. So check that out. Here are some that you can get access to. I put those links in the chat as well. But you can check them all out at ak.ms/community days. And I would just want to shout out to all of our community admins that put these together. It's a lot of work to put these sessions and these projects and events together, these community events. So show some love by attending. Some of them are in person, some of them are hybrid, some of them are virtual only. So it's a nice opportunity. But when and where you can, please do support them. It's a lot of work to put these together. All right, now, how about some news? Let's go to the news desk and we'll start out with notes from the field with Shane again.
You want me to get off the floor laying there with Buddy and talk to these people? Fair enough.
I mean, you can stay laying down if you want. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, So a few things, right? Like, I don't know, I feel like every time I do these, it's the same things, but we're going to continue to beat on you people. Copilot interest is really through the roof at the start of 2025. So if you have been ignoring it or just kind of side-eyeing it for a while, I can tell you that the demand for this Copilot, information is going through the roof. So you are falling behind. So please be looking at Copilot, whether it's with your apps, your flows, building out, there's so many different places to engage with that. So definitely do that. Also, as I look at the future, as I look at this year, I get my crystal ball out. If I was David, I have some sweet sound effects to go with that, but I don't. I would tell you guys, I'm really excited for all of us. As I look at what the future of AI brings around building things like Copilot Studio agents and using these different tools, AI prompts and AI models, all of these things. In reality, all of us that do, low code, no code today, we have a huge advantage on everyone else, right? Because if you think about it, right, building a Power App, Canvas app today, yes, there are formulas and complexities there, but in reality, a big part of it is really just learning how to say, okay, I got business rules, I got things I got to accomplish over here, and I've got the Power Apps low code, no code stuff where I have to follow the rules, right? I can't just write any C# function I want. I got to use these tools and arrange them in a specific way to get my outcome. That is what a lot of these AI agents are going to be, right? It's the same thing. We're going to be like, hey, I got this business problem I got to solve, and here are the different actions it can use, the different instructions it can take, and I'm going to have to figure out how to bend all of those to meet my needs instead of, looking at it from a pro code point of view where I'm like, oh, just reinvent the wheel. We can't reinvent the wheel. So I am super excited for all of us. The last thing on the AI front I will mention for all of you is I forgot to put it into promo until a minute ago, but I am actually hosting a free adding AI to Power Apps and Power Automate class tomorrow. It is at 11 o'clock Eastern. I think David's going to put the link in the chat for all of you, but hundreds of your fellow friends have already signed up for it. So please come join me tomorrow for just me kind of dumping on how you can get AI into your apps and your flows. And then my last bullet point there, I love the community and I tolerate David. I mean, I love David too. So anyway, thank you all. I do more with AI. You're not doing enough. I don't know how much you're doing, but you're not doing enough. Get there.
Awesome. Thanks. I too tolerate David sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. But free event. Sold. That sounds awesome. So thanks, Shane. Thanks for sharing everything. All right, let's move on to some news. And we'll welcome back to the news desk, April Dunham.
All right. I feel the love there, guys. So we have a lot of news and new learning content as well to cover. So first, user-defined functions and enhanced component properties have moved over to preview. So lots of us excited about that. I hear that Mr. David Warner has some video content about that too. You might want to check out if you want to learn more about how that works. Also, Azure SQL environment variables are now supported. So if you've been waiting for environment variables, we have those for SharePoint Dataverse a long time. Now we have those for Azure SQL. cool. Protect identities and secrets with credential management in Power Automate Desktop. That is a mouthful, but basically what that means is now we have Azure Key Vault support, certificate-based authentication, all these best practices to make what you're doing in Power Automate Desktop more secure. All right, improved SharePoint responses with semantic search in Copilot Studio. This one is a big one. So in Copilot Studio, we're able to have SharePoint as knowledge bases. Now it uses semantic search. You can enable that capability there for enhanced search, and it will use the same search as Microsoft 365 Copilot. Knowledge tuning as well. That's another thing that is a preview that you can enable in your agents that you're building in Copilot Studio so that you can actually fine tune. That's kind of what you're seeing in the image there. And you're able to put in prompts and everything to kind of fine tune the knowledge sources that you have. And finally, image analysis support in Copilot Studio. This is another feature that you can enable and allow so you can upload and images in your chat with your agents and have it analyze those images. And finally, on the learn side, we have a brand new learning path created with the assistance of Daniel Laskowitz on our Power Platform Advocacy team for simplifying Power Platform deployments with pipelines. So if you want to get up to speed on pipelines and how to use those and how to integrate those into your CI/CD processes, ALM, all that, definitely check that out. All right, back to you, David.
Awesome. Thank you, April. Yes, and these are amazing things. Super excited. Very, very cool. And yeah, I am a big fan of those enhanced component properties that move to preview. So check out my YouTube if you want, everybody. I'll share some links. And all of these links are in the chat and will be in the show notes for those that are watching on demand. Now, what time is it? Well, it is everybody's favorite picture time. So get those cameras turned on and we will move into together mode. If you would like, we will get everything set up here. Let me get this moved in. Looking like we're seeing everybody's. Great, great, great. We'll move into that scene. Look, we can all be outdoorsy together. Looking great. Okay, and let's get this turned on and move this over here. Yep. Thank you, Camtasia. All right, give you just another minute or so. We are just a little behind schedule, but looking great to see everybody on the call. Looking, yeah, Shane and Vessa are fast friends in the back row. Looking good.
Yeah, we can't quite get the high five to connect, but we're trying.
Yours becomes one at some point. So looking great to see Scott and April. Okay, let's give this a quick 3, 2, 1. Everybody, looking great to see you all. Again, thank you all for being here and the amazing contributions that you make to the community. We would not have the passion and the love that we have in this community without you. So thank you so much. It is amazing to see you all here today. Well, let's move back into our regularly scheduled program and get to why we are all really here, which is our amazing presenters. All right, why don't you take it away, my friend? And everybody, we'll go a little long today. Apologize, Teams is having one of those moments, but if you have to drop, no problem. We'll get it recorded, and you can watch the rest of it on YouTube. Terho, take it away.
Thanks, David. I'll try to be quick. So, welcome to this session, Copilot Studio demo. Let's move on so we can actually get to the actual demo. This picture is from Finland, so greetings from snowy Finland. This is taken today while I was taking a walk earlier. Now it's already dark outside, but looks quite nice. So who am I? I'm Terho Antila. I'm Microsoft MVP since 2021. I have a little work change happening, so I'll be starting in a startup called Lokoda in March. I have also been presenting here earlier. I was demonstrating the Planner Gantt chart app that you can use to look at your planner plans in a Gantt chart view. So you can use these QR codes to connect with me and download the Gantt chart app for you as well. Moving on. So let's talk about Copilot Studio agents. The idea of this presentation is that they are more than just information retrieval. So let's take a look what I have prepared. So let's take a look at the demo case. I created a model-driven app for a customer to plan project resourcing. Here at the bottom, you can see the simplified data model. So we have project resource allocation, and then we have a person attached to that allocation. And I'll turn on my cursor highlight as well. So I also created a Copilot Studio agent as a learning project. So this is nothing the customer actually asked for, but I did it anyways, and they loved it. So what features does that agent have? Well, obviously it can provide information on projects, people, and allocations, but you can also use the agent to create new projects. You can allocate a person to a project, and as a bonus, you can also generate graphs. So let's take a look at the actual demo. So here is the Copilot Studio screen, and I have some ready-made prompts here on my notepad. I'll just copy paste them here on the test panel. So how many projects are there in total? This agent is using Dataverse as a knowledge. So it has few tables provided as a knowledge, and it uses those to fetch information regarding the projects, allocations, and people. So it answers that there are a total of 8 projects in the system, and we can actually validate that by looking at the actual model-driven app. Let's refresh the view. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have 8 projects in the system. Okay. Now, interesting demo effect is going to happen now when I ask that which one is starting next. So let's see what the agent actually answers. The next project starting is Asteria implementation on October 30th, 2024. That's interesting since it's already February 25. So let's type that considering now is 19th of February 2025. Okay, that looks a little better. Now it got the date right. Okay, and then I have a longer prompt. So let me just copy paste that here and let's read it through. So basically I'm typing that I received this email and I would like you to create a project for me based on it. And here is the contents of the email. So it says, hi Terho, could you please set up a new project called Year 2027 Preparations. The project should start in June 26 and last to the end of the year. Value stream for the project is MIF. And then there is a project description generated by ChatGPT. So let's hit it and see what happens. Okay, on the left-hand side, we can see that it identified this as an action and it provided some parameters to the flow, which is the action, and it also already created the project. So the project year 2027 preparation has been successfully created. Let's double check that, refresh this model-driven app, and here we can see that the project is here with the correct start and end date also. All right, now we want to allocate a person to that project. So let's prompt it. I would like to allocate Michael Swan for that project as project manager. I'm not giving enough information for the agent to actually kick off the action, so it will ask me some more information. What percentage of allocation would you like to assign? Please enter a number between 0 and 100. Let's put 40. It's still missing some parameters. No, it's not. It actually got the dates from the project. So the allocation for Michael Swan as project manager has been successfully created. Let's take a look. So let's open this year 2027 preparations project and take a look at here. And we can see that Michael Swan has been allocated to this project with the 40% allocation. Okay, cool. Now let's move on to the reporting side. So just a sec, I'll just type it in. Next, I would like to look at some reports, please. Okay, now we are hitting a topic. So I created a topic for this, and there are 2 reports created for this demonstration. The other one is projects by value stream, and the other one is projects in a Gantt chart. So I want to look at the projects by value stream. So I'll click on that option. Then this takes a little bit time. So I'm not using very performant Power BI capacity workspace. So it takes some time to generate the report image. So basically what's happening in the background is that agent is calling, well, agent already called this topic, and this topic is calling a Power Automate flow, which then calls a Power BI service with the provided parameters. And now the service returned the report as an image, and the agent rendered it for the user. And as we can see, it's real time. We have 2 + 4 + 3 projects in this report. So that's all the 9 projects that we have in the system. So the Power BI report is configured to use direct query. That means that we didn't have to wait for any refresh schedule to happen. All the numbers are fetched from the Dataverse in real time when the report is generated. Okay, so that was the demonstration of the agent. And since we have a couple of minutes left, we can take a look at how the agent is built. So if we take a look at the overview screen, I'm giving it some instructions. These are important guidance for the agent. Always when you start creating, excuse me, Copilot Studio agents, it's very important that you provide clear instructions to describe how the agent should answer to the user. And I have this orchestration toggle enabled. This means that the agent is allowed to determine when he thinks that it's a good place to call an action or a topic. So the generative AI makes that decision for the user. And as I already mentioned, there's Dataverse. Some Dataverse tables are lifted as knowledge for the agent. Let's take a look at these actions here. So I have 2 Power Automate flows created as actions for the agent. One is to create a new project, and the other one is to allocate a person to a project. If we take a look at the create project action, I'm clicking on it, you can see how the actions are basically configured. So I created the Power Automate, and then I lifted it as an action for the agent. And when I did that, I was able to see all my trigger parameters of that Power Automate flow as input fields here. And these are something that you need to pay attention to when you create those actions, because generative AI uses this description here to determine what kind of information the agent should extract from the dialogue, from the context to that parameter. So this agent was really low code. There's no power effects even or anything. It's it's something that it's quite simple, but it demonstrates how versatile agents you can actually create. It's not just information retrieval. You can also generate images. You can do stuff in the backend systems, create records and stuff like that. So I think that was my demonstration.
Awesome stuff, Terho. This is really, really cool. I know there's a lot of interest in some questions in the chat. And I appreciate you trying to accelerate this for us, given some of the Teams issues we've had today. But thank you so much. Also put a link to the GitHub in the chat there for Terho, and you can connect with him on LinkedIn by scanning that QR code. Now, again, just a reminder, friends, we'll go a little longer today. Mohammed said that he absolutely loves the community, so he can stay till midnight too. Not just kidding, not that late, but he is here to show us about Power Platform offline capabilities, the art of working offline with Power Apps. Mohammed, take it away.
Thanks a lot, everyone. I appreciate to give me thumb up if you can see my screen.
Yep, looks great. You can see the little dino running through the desert.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for having me. Have you ever played this game? I believe everyone, or not everyone, but most of you have already seen this before. So that's, have you ever wondered how systems could work if there is no internet connection? Have you ever been in a place and been told that system is down? Visit us later, please. So that's basically the story we want to present today. Mohammed Abdelsattar is my name. I'm from Avanade, based in Germany. I'm a solution architect, and I do Power Platform and SharePoint. I would like to present you today the one of the most overlooked features in the Power Apps, which is basically offline capabilities. And I want to let's directly deep dive. So here are have you ever imagined that you are stuck on a plane with no Wi-Fi? Have you been in maybe in an inventory, like managing the inventory, similar to Pratima's application? Maybe in the warehouse, there is a weak connection coverage. Are you maybe traveling to an island or maybe to a military site with a restricted internet access? Power Apps, of course, can help you shaping still an application which works in these cases. Of course, also, if you are in the plane or somewhere where you want still to hear some music, upload some pictures, or updating some tasks, Power Apps can still help you. What does it mean? Let's have a look how Power Apps can help us here, or how Power Apps can function with the offline capabilities. So offline capabilities in brief means that the Power App can work even without the internet connection. So perfect for this time when you are in the middle of nowhere, or when you have a Wi-Fi dead zone. This ensures that users, of course, can continue their work seamlessly. In cases where I want to cover later, but this will basically just work in the way that the application is designed without any interruptions. So this will allow the users to maintain, of course, productive, and when there is no connection, when the application regains connectivity, so it will automatically synchronize this data and allocate it or to collect it offline, and of course to ensure to synchronize this with the database. The offline capabilities also provide the users with an overall a good user experience and reducing dependencies on the internet access. How can we implement this in business cases? So of course there are so many scenarios where we can implement the offline capabilities. So in healthcare, as example, medical doctors need to get access to the patient's records and to update them with the treatment plans. This could be in a hospital room or in an operation room with no network coverage. Another example could be in retail or maybe in an inventory without internet. Might be also in the fields. So in inspections, like typical inspections applications require sometimes offline capabilities where they still capture some data, upload some pictures, and synchronize this at later point of time to the server. This can also work. Of course, also in the engineering service, so we still can provide the technicians all the information and knowledge they need to work seamlessly, even with poor connection. But let's learn how. So Power Apps simply caching or storing this data in the local storage of the mobile device. So we are here covering or only this supports only in the mobile devices cases where you have the Power Apps in the mobile. The application will continuously monitor the network connection when the application is offline and when the users made any data change. So this will be stored locally. And once the internet connection is restored, the application will automatically synchronize the local storage or the local data to the central database. Also, technically, how this can be handled. So in two ways. So with no code. So this is what Microsoft called offline first built-in feature. We will also talk about this, but also you can handle this with low code. So you still can write some code to check the connectivity with this object connection.connected. Then you also leverage the both functions, load and save data. Covering the next one. So basically, this is a more simpler approach. So Microsoft announced this recently. So to enable something called the offline profiles for the Dataverse, especially. So this is only special if you are using the Dataverse in the background. System users can work with this offline profile, and the Power Apps will basically do the job for you of synchronizing the data back to the Dataverse. In the model-driven app, this also can be enabled. So in summary, like in the configuration of the model-driven app, you can create basically a mobile offline profile. So admins and developers can do so. Also on table level, you can enable or disable the offline capabilities. You can allow this on table level. Of course, also per user or per user group, actually, you can still bundle users or allow some users, disallow the others, and also allow the tables. This is how the application will look like in the mobile experience. So basically, you will see downloading data, or the data will be downloaded initially, and then it will be uploaded later when the network is back. And of course, it's continuously checking the status of the data or checking the status of the connections, and then it will decide to synchronize once it's connected again. Of course, this comes also with some limitations and considerations when you deal with offline capabilities. So data conflicts, as example, might arise when multiple users work on the same data offline, and you might need to implement additional logic if you implement this low code. So you might need to implement additional logic to resolve these conflicts. And one of the you can, of course, implement multiple strategies here, but maybe like the last updated ones can also be considered as the latest, or maybe you can also allow the user to decide himself by showing that there is a conflict here, and then the user can, take a decision which information should be stored in the system. Of course, not every connector supporting this mode or offline capabilities, and some features might not be available offline. Offline data stores also might lead to data loss. If the application crashes at the point where it's not yet synchronized to the server, also might be that while testing or debugging, it's a bit tricky with having an offline capabilities. So that's basically what you could hit when you deal with offline capabilities in the Power Apps. Key takeaways from our experience. So if you design a Power App, you want to leverage this. So make the connection status always visible for the users. Make sure that he knows if he's online now or if he's offline. We typically use the timer control to trigger the resync operation. Also, don't forget when the application or when the data is synchronized back to the server to refresh the application cache or to refresh the application memory. Also, Dataverse offline supports is built in, so don't reinvent the wheel. Configuration per table and per user group is possible. Canvas apps cannot, with offline capabilities, cannot happen in the web browsers. So this is not possible. You need to always leverage the Microsoft Power Apps mobile app. Data conflict can be resolved, as I mentioned, by the user manually or by applying a last written wins strategy. And if a conflict is detected, so it can basically update the central database with the number from the local data. Finally, the local data is cleared after the synchronization. That was it from my side. Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving the chance, and back to you.
Awesome, Mohammed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I think a big, great thank you to all of our presenters, Fatima and Terho and Mohammed. Thank you all for sharing your passion. Thank you all for sharing extra time with us. Shane, any gifts of gratitude that you want to share as well?
Like you said, thank you all very much. I love that you guys jumped in there. You shared what you did. Hopefully you guys get a chance to go back and look at the chat. Everyone was super excited. Lots of questions and thoughts. Like, this is what the community call is all about. So really appreciate you all taking the time to share your data, great ideas and great inspirations for the community. So kudos to all of you. And hopefully those of you who are listening to me talk right now, you should be next month. Sign up. You come share something awesome like that. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. Yep. Aww. We want to see everybody. All right. Excellent. Let's wrap this up. We're a little behind, but we appreciate you staying with us. Some resources that are available to you. Our Power Platform community front door. We've got videos. We've got samples. We've got communities that you can interact with. So we'll put all these links in the show notes for you. These calls are plentiful and available each week. So we've got our weekly Microsoft speaker call. That's with those program managers and product managers that are interacting with the community and showing us all the amazing, cool stuff that they're working on. Of course, this is the monthly Power Platform call. We've got our monthly Office add-ins and our bi-weekly sibling calls, the Microsoft 365 Power Platform community, which is next week, and the VV Connections and SharePoint Framework, which is tomorrow. So check in on all these calls, ak.ms/community/calls. We'll get you links to those invites. So put those on your calendar. These are absolutely like a crystal ball into what's now, what's new, and what's next in the community. Just a quick look at that agenda for Tuesday on the Microsoft 365 Power Platform weekly call. Mark and Steve are going to be talking about finding your content in SharePoint embedded. Fabian is going to talk about unlocking the power of M365 data with Copilot agent plugins or caps. So we're going to cap it off. And then Vesa, hey, I know that guy. He's famous. He's going to show us a preview to SharePoint Framework 1.21. So check it out. Now, if you want to communicate and collaborate with the community in a cool way, we've got our Discord server. We're now over 2,500 members. It's a wonderful one-stop shop for you to be able to collaborate with other members of the community. A number of channels that are dedicated to a variety of those topics in the community. And we'd also love to get some feedback from you. So let us know if these calls are working for you. If they're not, just please keep it positive and constructive. Other than that, the recording will be available in 24 hours on the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. You can subscribe today at ak.ms/community/YouTube. You can also follow us in LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Twitter, or X. All of your favorite socials will be there for you. We'll scream from the rooftops. The next call, March 19th, 1 month from today, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Get those invites, ak.ms/Power Platform Community Call. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, April. Appreciate you all attending and sticking around with us. We would not be able to do these without your passion and your dedication to the community. So have a wonderful rest of your week. Hopefully we'll see you on the call tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.